Welcome back to the Deep Dive. So many of you have sent in articles about AI projects that have a real impact on the world, and we thought we'd take a closer look.
Yeah, it's amazing to see how AI is being used to solve some really important problems, from accessibility to misinformation, and even some projects that are just pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
Let's start with one that really caught my attention. OpenAI's O3 model. Remember all those mind-bending math problems AI was struggling
Oh,
with?
absolutely.
Well, O3 just crushed the ARC-AGI math benchmark, scored an incredible 87.5%.
Yeah, it's a huge leap forward in AI reasoning. But of course, there's a catch. The computational costs for running this thing are astronomical, over $1.6 million they're estimating.
Wow.
Makes you think about, the future of AI development and who has access to these powerful tools.
Yeah, I mean, it's not something you can run on your average laptop.
Definitely not.
It's more like, think of it like one of those huge scientific experiments, like, pushing the limits of what's possible, even if it's not practical for everyday use yet.
That's a great analogy, and it's really sparked a debate. Some people are saying O3 is a step towards artificial general intelligence, while others are saying it's just, brute computational force, not true intelligence.
Right. And we can't ignore the whole discussion about OpenAI shifting away from open source.
Hmm.
I mean, they're moving towards paid services and restricted access, and that has huge implications for AI research.
Huge implications. It's a complicated issue. I mean, on the one hand, restricting access could really slow down collaboration and innovation, especially for researchers and developers who don't have a lot of resources.
Yeah.
But then again, OpenAI argues that this approach is necessary to prevent misuse of these really powerful models, and to ensure responsible development.
Definitely a lot to unpack there. But let's switch gears a bit and talk about a project that's tackling something a little more every day, something we can all relate to. Coding. Specifically, an AI-powered code editor called CodeLLM. What's amazing is it uses multiple large language models.
Multiple.
Yeah. OpenAI's models, Sonnet, and even Google's Gemini. I mean, it's a real powerhouse team.
It really is. And they're offering unlimited introductory access for developers right now.
Wow, that's incredible. This could be a total game changer for accessibility, right? Making advanced coding tools available to a much wider audience.
Absolutely. Imagine the possibilities if anyone with internet access and a desire to learn could use these powerful tools.
It's amazing. Okay, speaking of accessibility, remember Llama Index? That tool that could process tons of text from, like PDFs and Word docs.
Yes, I remember it. It was quite impressive for organizing and understanding large amounts of text.
Well, guess what? It can now parse audio files, too.
Oh, wow.
Seamlessly converting speech to text, they're calling it Llama Parse.
So that means all that information locked away in audio format, lectures, meetings, podcasts, you can suddenly turn that into text, make it searchable, analyzable.
It's a game changer for research, education, you name it. Definitely one to watch.
Definitely. And it's not just about accessibility, it's about research too. Imagine being able to analyze the emotional tone of speech, let's say, in therapy sessions,
Oh, wow.
or track subtle changes in a patient's voice over time. There are so many possibilities.
Amazing. Okay, let's move on to a project that's pushing the boundaries of what AI can do in a whole different way. Notebook LM. Imagine you're prepping for a big presentation, you've got tons of notes, but you need to turn them into a coherent story.
Right.
That's where Notebook LM comes in. Think of it like an AI assistant that takes your notes and turns them into actual podcast segments complete with audio.
And it doesn't stop there. Timelines, mind maps, even visual content like animations.
Seriously.
Using tools like Anadoc.
That's incredible. I mean, this could revolutionize education and content creation. Think about students learning complex topics through AI-powered podcasts tailored to their specific need.
That's exactly what I was thinking. The potential for personalized learning is incredible.
It's almost like having a personal tutor who can adapt to your learning style and pace. Okay, last but not least, let's talk about a project that's addressing a really serious issue in the digital world. Misinformation. With deepfakes and manipulated videos popping up everywhere.
Right. It's a huge problem.
It's getting harder and harder to know what's real. Well, Meta has developed something called Meta Video Seal, which is basically a neural video watermarking framework.
So it embeds an invisible watermark into video content, kind of like a digital signature that can prove the video hasn't been tampered with.
Exactly. So if someone tries to manipulate a video, you can actually use this watermark to prove that it's been altered.
Exactly. This is a game changer for news organizations, artists, anyone sharing content online. Imagine being able to quickly verify whether a video is genuine or if it's been manipulated.
Right. This could be huge for fighting misinformation, especially in a world where doctored videos can go viral so quickly.
Absolutely. It's about
Right.
giving people the tools to be more critical of the information they see online.
And ultimately, to make more informed decisions about what they trust and what they share.
Exactly.
It's like giving people a superpower to see through the digital smoke and mirrors. I'm really curious to see how this technology develops and how it will be implemented in the real world.
Me too. It's definitely something to watch closely. It shows just how important it is to develop technologies that help us navigate this increasingly complex digital landscape.
Right. And it's not just about creating new technologies. It's about creating technologies that are responsible and ethical,
Mm.
you know, technologies that can help us build a more trustworthy and informed society.
I agree.
Well, we've covered some incredible projects today, each with its own unique impact. What really stands out to me is the sheer diversity of applications and the potential for AI to address so many different challenges.
I agree.
It's no longer just a technology for tech companies. It's a tool that can be used to make a real difference in people's lives.
It really is. And it's inspiring to see how AI is being used to break down barriers and empower people to create a more equitable and accessible world.
Now, before we move on, I want to leave you with something to think about. We've seen the amazing things AI can do, but what about the potential downsides? Are there unintended consequences we need to be aware of?
That's a really important question. As with any powerful technology, there's always the risk of misuse.
Right.
We need to be careful that AI doesn't just end up perpetuating existing biases or making inequality worse. It's our responsibility to make sure AI is developed and used in a way that benefits everyone, not just a select few.
That's a really important point and something we should definitely explore further. In our next segment, we'll dive into some more amazing AI projects and discuss the bigger implications of these advancements for society as a whole. Stay tuned.
It's really encouraging to see that alongside all these big AI advancements, there's a growing focus on using AI for good, and especially in the field of accessibility.
Yeah, you're right. Accessibility is a crucial aspect that often gets overlooked in all the tech hype. So let's talk about a project that's directly tackling that. Microsoft's Seeing AI. This app is designed to help people who are blind or visually impaired navigate the world around them.
It's a remarkable application of AI, really. It uses computer vision to describe the environment to the user, reads text out loud, identifies objects, people, and even helps them navigate spaces.
It's almost like giving someone the ability to see again through AI. I mean, that's just incredible.
It's incredibly empowering. Imagine being able to, let's say, navigate a busy street or identify a friend in a crowd or read a menu at a restaurant all independently. These are things that most people take for granted, but they can be so challenging for someone with visual impairments.
Absolutely. Seeing AI is a perfect example of how technology can actually level the playing field and improve people's lives in a really tangible way.
Yeah, it really is. It's a testament to human ingenuity and how we can harness technology to make a positive difference. And you know what? This trend of using AI for accessibility, it's just going to keep growing. We're seeing so many new projects popping up all the time that are really focused on making technology more inclusive and accessible for everyone.
That's fantastic to hear. Let's shift gears a bit and talk about a project that's taking on a different challenge, the challenge of making AI itself more accessible. You sent us some information about this open source AI project called RWKV7.
Ah, yes, RWKV7. It's fascinating. You see, it's what's called an attention-free RNN model. So unlike those, transformer-based models, which rely on attention layers, this one uses a recurrent neural network architecture.
Okay, that sounds pretty technical.
It is, but essentially what this means is it allows RWKV7 to handle really long contexts and process information over time incredibly well.
So for example, if you're working with, let's say, a large amount of text, like a research paper or a book, RWKV7 could be really powerful for understanding the content and extracting key insights.
Precisely. And it's also very versatile. It supports over 100 languages, and it really shines when it comes to code-related tasks. And the best part, the fact that it's open source, which means a wider range of developers and researchers can actually experiment with it, build upon its capabilities.
And this open source aspect is something you're really passionate about. Tell me why.
Well, you see, open source projects like this, like RWKV7, they represent a much more collaborative approach to AI development.
I see.
It's about fostering a sense of community and shared knowledge where developers from all around the world can contribute to advancing the technology together.
It's like a global brain trust.
Exactly. And this collaborative spirit, this is so essential for ensuring that AI really benefits everyone, not just, those with massive resources or proprietary data sets. Open source AI projects, they're democratizing access to the technology, enabling smaller organizations, independent researchers, even hobbyists to actually participate in the AI revolution.
It's a powerful reminder that innovation isn't limited to Silicon Valley. It can emerge from anywhere in the world, when people have the right tools and the resources to contribute.
Exactly. And it's this diversity of perspectives, the different approaches, that ultimately leads to the most groundbreaking advancements.
Absolutely. It's fascinating to see how AI is not just being used to solve problems in various fields, but it's also transforming the way we develop and even access the technology itself.
Absolutely.
Speaking of different fields, you also sent us some interesting research on AI's growing role in healthcare. And there seems to be a lot of buzz around personalized medicine.
Personalized medicine, yes. This is an area where AI is making significant strides. The goal is to tailor treatments to an individual's specific needs, taking into account their genetic makeup, lifestyle, medical history, all of it. Imagine predicting how a patient will respond to a specific drug or therapy based on their unique characteristics.
Wow, that's incredible. I mean, that could completely revolutionize how we approach healthcare.
It really could.
Are there any real-world examples of this happening already?
Absolutely. Researchers are using AI to develop personalized cancer treatments, treatments that target tumors much more effectively while minimizing all those nasty side effects. We're also seeing AI being used to predict and prevent diseases by analyzing a patient's genetic data and identifying potential risk factors.
This is one of those areas where the potential benefits are so profound. I mean, the impact on human lives could be truly transformative.
Absolutely. It's about moving away from that one-size-fits-all approach to healthcare and really embracing a more individualized, patient-centric model.
And it sounds like AI is playing a key role in making that vision a reality.
It really is.
It's amazing to think that we're really only scratching the surface of what's possible with AI in healthcare.
The possibilities are endless. We've just begun to explore the ways AI can improve diagnostics, develop those new treatments, and ultimately enhance the quality of life for people all over the world.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground in this segment, from AI's role in accessibility and open source development to its impact on healthcare. But one thing's clear. AI is no longer just a futuristic concept. It's a force shaping our world right now, and it's only going to become more integrated into our lives moving forward.
I completely agree. And, as AI becomes more powerful, more pervasive, it's absolutely crucial that we consider the ethical implications of these advancements.
You're right, we can't get caught up in all the exciting possibilities without also addressing the potential risks and challenges. So, in our final segment, let's dive into some of the ethical considerations surrounding AI, explore some of the concerns that people are raising, and discuss how we can ensure that AI is developed and used responsibly, for the benefit of everyone. We've seen some amazing AI projects with so much potential for good, but as AI becomes more powerful and, more ingrained in our lives, we really have to think about the ethical side of things. What are some of the concerns people are raising?
Well, one of the biggest concerns is bias. You see, AI systems learn from the data they're trained on. And if that data reflects existing societal biases, well, the AI can end up amplifying those biases.
Right, making things even worse. So how do we fix that? How do we address bias in AI?
It's going to take a multi-pronged approach. We have to be a lot more careful about the data we use to train AI, make sure it's diverse and represents the population as a whole. We also need to develop algorithms that can detect and mitigate bias.
It sounds like a tough challenge,
It is?
but a really important one if we want AI to be a force for good.
Absolutely.
What other ethical issues should we be thinking about?
Transparency is another big one. AI systems are becoming so complex that it can be hard to understand how they make decisions. And this lack of transparency can erode trust, especially in areas like healthcare or criminal justice where the stakes are really high.
So it's not enough for AI systems to just work well.
Right.
We need to understand how they work, how they reach their conclusions.
Exactly. Transparency is about accountability. If something goes wrong and we can't understand how the AI made its decision, who do we hold responsible?
Right. Which brings me to another point. We need clear rules, clear regulations for developing and using AI. As it gets more powerful, we have to make sure it's being used ethically and responsibly.
Absolutely. We need ethical frameworks, legal guidelines, the whole nine yards. We have to address bias, transparency, privacy, accountability, all of it. This is key to making sure AI benefits society as a whole and doesn't end up causing harm.
It feels like we're at this really critical point in the evolution of AI. We have this incredible technology, so much potential, but we need to tread carefully.
You're exactly right. Huge opportunity, huge responsibility. The decisions we make now are going to have a lasting impact on how AI shapes our lives.
And this brings up something else that's on a lot of people's minds, the impact on jobs. A lot of people are afraid AI is going to automate their jobs away and lead to massive unemployment. What do you think about that?
It's a valid concern. AI will definitely automate certain tasks. Some entire job roles may disappear. But look, history shows us that new technologies create new jobs even as they replace old ones.
So it's more of a shift than like a complete disappearance of jobs.
Right. The key is to adapt, to be ready for these changes. Focus on skills that complement AI, skills that require human creativity, critical thinking, emotional intelligence, all the things AI can't replicate.
So basically, lifelong learning is more important than ever.
More than ever, we need to keep learning, upskilling to stay ahead of the curve because the skills that are in demand today may not be the ones we need tomorrow.
So for anyone listening who's thinking, okay, I need to get ready for this AI future, but how? Harry, what's your advice? Where should they start?
Focus on critical thinking, creativity, communication skills. Those are going to be really valuable as AI takes over more routine work. And stay curious. AI is changing constantly. Be open to learning new things, embrace the challenge, and be ready to adapt.
That's great advice.
Right.
It's not about being afraid of the future. It's about being excited about the opportunities.
Exactly.
Well, we've covered so much in this deep dive, from the mind-blowing potential of AI to all the ethical considerations and the impact on the workforce. I feel like I've learned so much.
I'm glad. I hope this deep dive has sparked your curiosity about AI and its role in the world.
Absolutely has. And for all of you listening, keep exploring this amazing world of AI. There's so much to learn, and there are so many ways you can get involved.
Don't forget, the future of AI isn't set in stone. It's something we're building together.
Right.
So let's have these conversations, ask the tough questions, advocate for responsible development. We can make sure AI is used to create a better, fairer world for everyone.
I could have said it better myself. That's the perfect note to end on. Until next time, keep exploring, stay curious.